Life has the capacity to bring us great joy, like falling in love, or exploring the world, playing your favorite video game, playing your least favorite video game, or making a positive impact. Life, unfortunately, also has the capacity to bring great hurt, like losing a loved one, enduring grief, loneliness, and rejection, or playing your least favorite video game. Many hardships are outside of our control. There is, however, one thief within us that routinely steals from our joy, and the worst part is that we have some power over this thief, yet allow it to continue stealing. If you have the attention span of a goldfish, or just came for the AI summary, please feel free to click away after this quote. Comparison is the thief of joy. Congratulations, you are less brain-rotted than some. I'm so glad that you are here. I'm curious what YouTube analytics will tell me about this section of the video and how many people clicked away. I am sure you can relate to the previous quote on some level. If you have ever played a sport, played a video game, or worked a job, there has always been somebody more skilled than you at your skill or craft. If you have ever been discouraged because of this fact, you have experienced the spirit of the quote. Comparison is the thief of joy. But why do we humans get stuck in the pattern of comparing ourselves to others? What is the purpose? How does comparison affect us? And if comparison is truly a silent thief stealing our joy, what then can we do to reclaim some of our stolen happiness? Let's start with why we compare ourselves to others in the first place. From an evolutionary perspective, comparison was a tool that we used to survive. Our brains are naturally wired for dissatisfaction. Historically, our ancestors who were content with enough food or adequate shelter did not survive as well, or as long as the ones who were constantly looking for more and better. Imagine for a moment two humans living 50,000 years ago. Human A finds a small bush of berries, eats their fill, feels perfectly content, and naps in the sun. Human B finds the same berries but thinks, what if these run out? What if that person over there finds a better bush? I need to find more and store them. When winter comes, Human B survives because their brain robbed them of contentment and forced them to keep striving. Evolution rewarded the anxious, restless, and competitive people because they were the ones who prepared for the worst. We are the descendants of the people who were never satisfied. Historically, the civilizations that pushed boundaries, expanded, and used innovation and technology to make life easier were the ones that grew in power. That ambition led to a stronger stability and security for the group. At the end of the day, evolution doesn't care if you are happy. It cares if you are productive and safe. To ensure that safety, we developed a sort of internal comparison engine, a psychological drive that ensures we never stay satisfied for long. Or perhaps we are never satisfied because we are seeking something not of this world, and comparison amongst us is an evil within the world, pulling our attention away from what really matters. I am not here to argue how we arrived here precisely. The point is that there is a history in our biology and behavior that acts as a source for our nature to compare. The world we live in today is a completely different realm compared to the one from 10,000, 1,000, or even just a few hundred years ago. We no longer live in a world where we need to compare ourselves to others in order to survive or thrive. We live in a world of abundance. The average human today lives with a greater level of safety and abundance of resources than most humans in all of history. Due to our ancient history and the social nature of humans, our comparison engine runs almost constantly. Now, if I wanted to maximize misery, I would create some device that we would have access to at all times, a small rectangle maybe, that would also fill our social need, while simultaneously allowing us to compare ourselves to everyone all of the time. At least there aren't more doom rectangles everywhere all the time. Ah, man. Consider for a moment how many screens you have in your own home, or how many you interact with on a day-to-day basis. The average in the US is a little over 7, and I myself have well over a dozen. Through our small, medium, and large rectangle Doom boxes, we have a window to view everyone who participates in the internet. And everyone who doesn't, because we record video all the time. Not to mention the barrage we receive from advertisements in Hollywood. And honestly, of course everyone participates. Who wouldn't? It's in our nature to connect and compare ourselves with others. And now we can see what the president posted on Twitter. Sorry, X. Well, truth. And footage of war on the other side of the world streamed directly to your TikTok For You page. How neat. If you'd like to engage in a corner of the internet aiming to be helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. With a constant stream of content and information, it's only natural for us humans to draw comparisons between our life and everyone we see online. According to social comparison theory, we look in two directions to figure out where we stand in relation to others. Upwards. And downwards.
No, please don't. It's too soon. It's too soon, Hikaru. We didn't even reach a climax.
Seems obvious when you say it out loud. Upward comparison is when we look at people we perceive as superior. The grandmasters, the CEOs, the people with the perfect life. The positive is that this can provide inspiration, motivation, and an image of what is possible. It can also create feelings of inadequacy, envy, dissatisfaction, and low self-esteem. Downward comparison is when we look at those below us to feel better about our own circumstances. While this can provide a temporary boost to self-esteem or a sense of gratitude, it is a fragile way to build happiness because it depends on someone else's struggle to fuel your satisfaction. It does not actually push you forwards to be better, but instead make you feel better about your current situation. While it can feel helpful to get a dopamine hit from comparing downwards, it does not help you at all to achieve your own goals. Whether you are looking up or looking down, you are looking away from yourself. When you're looking away from your own progress, comparison is allowed to thieve from your potential joy. We use comparison to define ourselves. Instead of looking inward to define us based on our own perceptions and goals, we use our perceptions of others to bring our achievements into perspective. It is not just who we compare ourselves to that hurts us, but the frequency and intensity of the act itself. Every time we use someone else as a yardstick for our own success, we give the thief the keys to our house. Because no matter how high you climb, there is always a new top and a new pinnacle to measure against. The silent thief of joy is most effective when you get stuck in this loop, constantly swinging between feeling inadequate and feeling temporarily superior, never settling into genuine contentment. You might think, as many have, if I just reach the top, climb that mountain, hit the next rank tier, make this much money, or have this much popularity, I will finally be happy. But there is a glitch in our hardware, called Hedonic Adaptation. This is easily visualized on the hedonic treadmill, which shows that when you work incredibly hard to reach a new level of success, you get a massive spike of dopamine, and then it becomes a new normal. Yesterday's impossible dream is today's baseline. If your happiness is tied to being the best, you are on the treadmill that never stops. As soon as you adapt to your new rank or new salary, you immediately start looking for the next person to compare yourself to. You're running faster and faster, but your level of joy or satisfaction stays exactly the same. The key to happiness is far from simple, but as with many things, plotting it on a line graph can sometimes be helpful. Please allow me to demonstrate my terrible artistic skills while I draw a line graph in MS Paint. We start with a base level of happiness. Happiness can be defined as many things, and no singular definition fits perfectly for everyone. but I like to think of happiness as your outlook or attitude towards your own life. Your attitudes and beliefs are largely influenced by adverse childhood experiences, your relationship with your parents, and whether your basic needs are met. When we achieve something, whether it be a promotion, a new level of wealth, proficiency at a skill, or a new rank in a video game, our system gets a flood of dopamine and our happiness level may increase. Over time, however, we grow accustomed to our new norm. And what tends to happen is our happiness level returns somewhere close to where it was originally. This is especially true when we start to compare ourselves with the next level. We often see the distance between us and those lower than us as less significant, and the distance between us and those above us is mountainous. I have personally experienced the effects of hedonic adaptation in upwards and downwards comparison in my time spent gaming. I am one of the many lost souls that have played and still play League of Legends. In my years playing League, I have climbed the ranked ladder slowly over time. When I was bronze, I wanted to be silver. Once silver, I wanted to be gold, then plat, then diamond. Now, having reached diamond, I have worked hard to accept that this is an okay point to stop. But I still find myself wanting to achieve more. When I have felt bad about my game performance, whether that be in League, chess, or some random game with friends, I have found myself using downward comparisons to make myself feel better. But it never actually helped me achieve my goals. It actually hindered my progress because I developed bad habits. When I was pushing for diamond in League, smurfing only hurt my progress toward my goal. Comparison was helping me feel better, but simultaneously stealing from me. Upwards comparisons have also been incredibly discouraging. When looking at others who have made content and been more successful, or professional gamers or people in advanced positions in my professional life, I have been discouraged many a time. Giving up means I don't have to deal with or work through the disappointment I feel in myself when comparing myself to those better or more successful. While editing this video, I had a realization. I caught myself thinking, once I finally finish this video, I will feel satisfied. And once it's done, I will feel accomplished. And if it performs well, then I will be happy. And I realized something uncomfortable. After all the research put into this video, the time I took to write the script, and the hours I put into editing everything together, I wasn't just talking about comparison. I was still in fact participating in it. I was comparing this version of myself to some future, improved, more successful version. And if I practice some self-reflection, I'm not just comparing myself now to a future version of me, but also to others who make similar content on the internet. And in doing so, comparison has the opportunity to steal my joy. So in this moment, I would like to self-reflect. My joy is within my control. Yesterday, I did not have a video uploaded. Today, I do. The purpose of making this video was to create something I'm proud of, and to create something that might have impact on others. The mere act of creating art such as this is beneficial and fulfilling to me in and of itself. So in the act of creating this video and putting it out on the internet, I am joyful. One of the most dangerous parts of the habit of comparing ourselves with others is that we are often incredibly unfair to ourselves. We compare our behind the scenes to everybody else's highlight reel. Think about it. You compare your messy, stressful Tuesday morning to a curated, filtered Instagram post. You compare your first year of learning a skill to someone else's 20th year of mastery. We ignore variables, luck, genetics, timing, and resources that make these comparisons mathematically impossible. When you compare your internal struggles to someone else's external successes, you aren't just being hard on yourself, you are being irrational. And in that irrationality, comparison is allowed to steal. So how do we take our happiness back? How do we stop the theft? Firstly, we can be aware of the why. Next time you feel that sting of inadequacy while scrolling or playing, label it. Say out loud, I am making an upward comparison right now. Naming the beast takes away its power. Compare to yesterday, not today. The only person you have a fair shot at comparing yourself to is the version of you that existed yesterday. Are you one chess tactic better? One bit more patient? One step closer to your goal? This is a comparison that actually yields growth. Lastly, audit your inputs. If certain people or platforms trigger that theft, walk away. You wouldn't leave your front door open for a literal thief. Don't leave your mind open to digital ones. Every minute you spend measuring your life against a shadow of someone else's is a minute of your own life that you aren't actually living. Your achievements, whether in gaming, your career, or personal growth, have inherent value because of what they represent. They represent your effort and your journey. Don't let the hundreds of thousands dictate your worth. Shut the door on the thief, look at your own path, and reclaim your joy. The biggest risk, I think, when it comes to comparing yourself with others, is getting complacent or stuck in a place or version of yourself with which you are unhappy. Sometimes, when we compare upwards, we may feel that there is no hope in trying to reach what others have achieved and feel discouraged by the gap between where we are and where we want to be. When we compare downward, we run the risk of becoming complacent with a version of ourselves which we may be unhappy with. But at least I am doing better than them. If there is a version of you with which you wish to become, it is important to refocus your comparison to others and set the sights instead on who you were yesterday and who you want to be tomorrow. The only fair and helpful comparison is that with yourself. There will always be somebody better, more successful, and living a life which you think you want. The grass is, in fact, always greener on the other side. If you, dear viewer, are unhappy with the grass you have, dwell less on ways which others have cared for their lawn, and instead consider and meditate on ways in which you can begin to water and lay seed to your own. If you enjoyed this video and are interested in being part of a community that blends mental health discussions and psychology with gaming, consider subscribing and joining my Discord. I also stream on Twitch, if you are interested in live discussions and my unedited thoughts. If you find this content was valuable and useful, please drop a like. It only takes a second, as it helps feed the algorithm monster and makes the video easier for others to discover. I'd like to give a huge thank you for everyone who watched, as every one of you helps support the channel and community. I'm so glad you are here. Thank you for watching.